If you've ever wondered what it takes to start a business basically from scratch in your own space, this video is for you. My name is Anthony and I have a small manufacturing facility that I run out of my garage in my office space. We do about 6 figures a year, so this isn't just some glamorous story. I want to share with you guys basically where I came from and where I am today. I got my first 3D printer in 2016, which was amazing. I basically just lied to my wife and I said, hey, I want to make a ton of money with this, and basically I was just being manipulative and I just wanted a cool toy. The printer sat on the shelf for a while, and in maybe 2018, a family friend who owns a small engine company reached out and they're like, hey, can you 3D print this piece? I thought it was just gonna be a one-off thing, but then he ended up ordering like hundreds of them. I was using an Ender 3 at the time, and I had to buy another one, which was awesome. It just felt really cool. I felt like I had a little print farm. The next year, I put an ad on eBay, basically, hey, this is a 3D print service. There was other people doing it at the time, so I put it at like $10, and I had somebody reach out to me. This person had a security company, and they said, hey, I have all of these motion sensors, but they don't have backs. They don't have the mounting bracket. So they sent me a bracket and I reproduced it. I had no idea how to do this in CAD. I did the previous part from the other guy and I basically just kind of barely squeaked by. It was pretty simple of a part. This other part was a little more complex and I stumbled my way through it, and I ended up making more sales. This guy ended up buying like hundreds of those. I had to buy, I think 3 or 4 little King Rune 3D printers, and I was still running in my basement. And it wasn't necessarily a business at the time, but it kind of felt that way. 2020 came around and everybody was at home with the plague, and we were getting paid by the government, and it was incredible just to be with my new baby girl and our family. We had just bought a new house, so it was just like everything seemed like it was going great until I had to go back to work. My stomach sank and I was like, this feels wrong. So what I did is I started selling more things on eBay. Well, that kind of exploded a little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could make this work. Just a little seed was planted in my mind, and I thought, maybe I can make a business. That winter I started selling on Etsy, and I had a lot of sales come in with all the stuff that I was selling. I started talking to a lot of other small business owners, and they gave me some great advice. One thing that really scared me at first was health insurance. Nobody really knows anything about that. I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, you're self-employed, you don't have health insurance. That wasn't the case. I had somebody help us. They sat down with us. We got on like the government marketplace thing, and we got a plan that was $1,500 a month. That really freaked me out, but we had a tax credit and it was covering the whole amount. So our bill monthly was $0. That looks a little different now. Health insurance prices gone up and it's just crazy. Our tax credit doesn't cover the whole entire bill, and the plan is just kind of crappy. So we pay about $240 a month for our family of 5. Another thing that kind of freaked me out was taxes. I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that I couldn't keep all the money from the sales. eBay and Etsy were taking their shares, and that already felt like quite a bit. So I sat down with a CPA and they suggested that we set up our business as a legit business. So in the fall of 2020, our business took its first breath as 3D Prints LLC. We have it set up as an S corporation, and more on that in another video. And we also had our payroll going through a payroll software. Any of the money that came into our business was the business's, and then I would run payroll. The software would hold taxes. They would pay that, they would do all the forms. I didn't have to worry about hardly anything. Now at this time, I was still working full-time at my job, and I was working about 2 hours at night on our business. It was just really hectic. There was a lot of orders coming in, I couldn't keep up. So I went and talked to my boss, who's actually my uncle. He owned the company that I worked at. It was a sign company. I ran a CNC router, so I was familiar with equipment and stuff like that. I went to him and I said, hey, I would like to go to part-time if that's possible. He was a little resistant to that, but I said, hey, maybe I could work 4 10-hour days and I could have like Wednesday off. I think at one point he saw the potential of our business and he was cool with us actually going to 2 days off. So I would take off Tuesdays and Thursdays instead. And then I would have a lot more time to work on our business and fulfill orders, but still I couldn't keep up. The summer of 2023, I actually was able to quit my full-time job and work at home full-time. Business almost doubled overnight. I had fulfilled all of the orders and I was able to create new products. That summer, we also got the biggest client we ever got. It was referred to us from a friend, and they ended up ordering like 10,000 parts. And I had to get, I think, 10 A1 minis at the time. That was the moment it actually clicked in my head and I stopped questioning myself if we could make this thing work. I realized that we had a business that could handle large volumes. About 2 years ago, we also got a 4x8 CNC router, which was incredible because I didn't realize how much material we were actually wasting getting full sheets cut down to fit on the Shapeoko. That was only a 30 by 30. We also upgraded our laser from the 2 Glowforge lasers to the Omtech 100 watt, which just totally blew them out of the water. Production could ramp up and we could keep things in stock. I'm not telling you this to brag about our business or to make myself look good. I really want to help you guys and I want to be an encouragement to you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. But right now I want to talk about if I were to start this business over in 2026. I know many of you guys are starting out or you have a 3D printer and you want to turn it into a money-making machine. The first thing that I would do is I would stop thinking of yourself as a 3D printing business. 3D printers are tools, they're not your identity. Don't get locked into that 3D printer mindset. You can come up with products, maybe not even using your 3D printer. If I were to start over, I would want to focus on solving somebody's problem, ideally rich people. If your thing that you create adds enough value to their life and solves a big enough problem, they're not gonna care what it's made out of or how you make it. One of the biggest mistakes that I made early on was trying to look cool and keep up with the Joneses with a lot of 3D printers. I probably could have made it with maybe half of what we had if I just set alarms for the middle of the night and got up and swapped out prints. Just because you see people online with like 30 printers in their shop doesn't mean that you actually need to do that. You really should try to stay humble and protect your profits because sales go up and down and you really want to have a buffer in case things go south. If you don't have any idea of where to start, here's what I would do, and I still do this sometimes. What you can do is you can make a business page for your 3D printing business or your manufacturing business, and you post in local groups and you say something like, hey, do you need a replacement part for something that's broken? I can do it for free. This is gonna make you a ton of money, just hold on, I'll explain. These people have already done research for that item and they probably found that they can't get it anywhere else, even from the manufacturer. This is a win-win for everybody. You're gonna add value to their life by giving them a free thing. You're gonna learn customer service, you're gonna learn how to use your CAD software, you're gonna learn more about your 3D printer. And the best part, you're gonna get a great review in 2 or 3 days when you ask for one. If you've done a good enough job, they're gonna refer you to other people as well. About 90% of the time, people will say, yes, I like free things, but they're gonna give you like a $5 bill or like a Taco Bell gift card every single time it happens to me, even though I say, hey, I wanna help you, this is free, don't worry about it. Once you've got solid reviews on your business page, you can go to other manufacturers and businesses in your area and help support them. The product that you created for them can also be sold in other markets. Let's say that you fix something that they don't make anymore. Now you can put it on eBay or Etsy or Amazon. With that, I wanna talk about selling platforms. There's many places you can go. Facebook is a great place to start, Facebook Marketplace or local groups. Low entry, very simple. You're gonna get feedback almost instantly from the customers because they can comment on your posts. Sometimes it's not great. The next place I would start would probably be Etsy. It's low entry, really easy to set up, and their SEO is incredible. I've gotten lots of sales just from search results without ads. A note on ads, if you sell more than $10,000, you're gonna be pushed into their ad program regardless of whether you have it on or not. So just take that into consideration. I would honestly skip eBay altogether. I sold on eBay for probably 5 or 6 years, and it just kind of turned into a giant scammer's paradise where people would buy something from you and they would say, hey, this isn't as described, and eBay would just refund them and you'd be out the item and the money. Amazon is for the big boys. This is where you're gonna sell if you already have volume, if you want to produce something and ship it to them, and they manage shipping and handling to the customer. The only issue is they take about 30% of your money. With that, I want to talk about your own website. Yes, you can create your own website. With your website, you can keep a lot more of your money than selling on a seller's platform. They're not going to take the 6 to 30% away from you. If you're selling on your own website, it's great. You can keep a lot more of your money, but the problem is Amazon and Etsy are like the stores at the mall. There's a lot more foot traffic, and your website is like that crappy Dollar General in a cornfield. It's really hard to get people there. It's not impossible, but it's incredibly hard. I almost think you're gonna spend more on ads trying to get people to your website than you would by just selling on another platform. Another thing on your own website, it's really hard to get custom jobs through that because I've found that millennials and Gen Zs, they don't want to send emails and contact people. They barely even want to talk to people at the store. To solve this issue, I put an instant quote software on my website so customers could upload their file and see the price almost immediately, and then they can submit it to me if they're okay with the price. I'll get an email with the file, and then I will just be able to send them an invoice for whatever they ordered. This quote software is only $5 a month, and you can set the prices and the margins and your electricity use, and everything's calculated, and it's really great. You can change the look of it and add your own logo. Well, I want you guys to check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description for you. Like I said, I don't wanna brag about our six-figure business here. I want to encourage you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comments or send me an email. I'll put my contact information below. And I just wanna see you guys succeed. A lot of people have great ideas. A lot of people wanna be able to stay at home with their families, and I want you to be able to do that. I'm gonna be making more content on here behind the scenes of what we do here in the shop. Thank you guys for watching. Hit subscribe if you wanna stick around and watch our journey here, watch our business grow. I'm really excited to see where we're gonna be in the next 5 years. We're already adding more equipment so we can kind of broaden our product offerings, and I'll see you in the next one.